In South Africa, music is the heartbeat of our history and our hopes. One voice rose above the rest, Lucky Dube. He wasn't just a musician, he was a storyteller and a voice for the voiceless. Lucky took reggae, born in Jamaica, and gave it a South African soul, singing about freedom, unity and pain. He started with traditional Zulu music, but was drawn to reggae's revolutionary spirit. Despite his record company's doubts, he secretly recorded Rastas Never Die, banned by the apartheid government, but it set him on a new path. His songs, like Slave and Together as One, spoke directly to the heart, simple but profound. Lucky's music became the soundtrack to the end of apartheid, a promise of a better tomorrow. He was our Bob Marley, armed with truth and a microphone. The world listened. He became one of Africa's biggest selling artists, touring the globe and sharing his message of peace and unity. Lucky showed the world South Africa's resilience and spirit, not just its struggles. He was a cultural ambassador who never forgot his roots. His success was a victory for all of us, a voice from a small corner of the world, inspiring change. Lucky Dube proved that music could unite a nation and echo across the planet. October 18, 2007 was supposed to be an ordinary night for Lucky Dube. He was dropping his teenage children off at his uncle's house in Johannesburg, just a father making sure his kids were safe. In that quiet moment, tragedy struck. As his children got out of the car, 3 men approached, carjackers, unaware of who he was. They saw only a nice car, not a national hero. In the chaos, a shot was fired. Lucky was hit. He tried to escape but crashed into a tree nearby. His children, hearing the gunshot, ran back to find their father dying. The hijackers fled, leaving the car behind. In seconds, a family lost its father and a nation lost a beloved icon. News of his death spread rapidly, shocking South Africa and the world. Lucky Dube was only 43. He survived apartheid, sang for peace, and was killed in a senseless act of violence. The pain was deepened by the randomness of the crime. It was the kind of violence South Africans feared every day, and it had just claimed the life of a man who symbolized hope. The news of Lucky Dube's death stunned the nation. Radio stations played his music non-stop. His voice became a haunting eulogy. People gathered everywhere, grieving together. This loss felt personal. He was more than a star. He was woven into the fabric of daily life. President Thabo Mbeki called the murder a sign of moral decay. The shock rippled worldwide. Fans and musicians from Jamaica to Europe mourned. International media highlighted not just his death, but the violence plaguing South Africa. His funeral drew thousands, fans, dignitaries, fellow artists, singing his songs through tears. The grief was mixed with anger, a man of peace lost to violence. The dream of a new South Africa felt fragile. Lucky's death was a heartbreaking reminder of how far the country still had to go. The pressure on South African police was immense. This was no ordinary case. A special task force launched a nationwide manhunt. Public tips poured in. The nation wanted justice. Within days, suspects were identified and arrested. The trial gripped the country. Lucky's children testified about that traumatic night. Evidence was strong: cell phone records, witnesses, and confessions. On March 31, 2009, 3 men were found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. The verdict brought relief, but it was bittersweet. Justice was served, but it couldn't bring Lucky back. The pain and trauma remained for his family and fans. The case exposed deeper issues. Justice alone couldn't heal a wounded society. Lucky Dube's murder became a mirror for South Africa. It forced the nation to confront a harsh reality: violent crime threatened the dream of the Rainbow Nation. In 2007, South Africa faced some of the world's highest crime rates. Carjackings and murders were daily fears. Lucky's death brought this fear to a boiling point. If he wasn't safe, who was? His murder symbolized the country's struggle to protect its people. The tragedy sparked national debate and international concern, especially with the 2010 World Cup approaching. Politicians promised action, but the roots of crime ran deep: poverty, inequality, and apartheid scars. The world watched as South Africa grappled with its vulnerabilities. Lucky's death didn't create the problem, but it exposed it. It was a wake-up call for a nation still searching for safety and justice. The loss was a global embarrassment and a national reckoning. Lucky Dube's death was a symptom of South Africa's deeper wounds. The violence that took his life was rooted in decades of apartheid and systemic inequality. After apartheid, Poverty and lack of opportunity fueled desperation and crime. The men who killed Lucky weren't masterminds. They were products of a broken system. Illegal guns and a culture of violence made deadly encounters common. Lucky sang about these issues, understanding the pain and struggle around him. His murder was a tragic irony. He became a victim of the very problems he tried to heal. The cycle of poverty, crime and trauma seemed unbreakable. His death reminded the nation that the fight for safety and justice was far from over. Even a message of peace was no shield against violence. The scars of the past continued to shape the present. Lucky's story was a call to confront the roots of violence, not just its symptoms. Years later, Lucky Dube's voice is louder than ever. His music lives on, inspiring hope and unity across Africa and the world. His daughter Lucky Dube carries his torch, blending her own style with his powerful messages. Lucky proved African artists could achieve global stardom without losing their identity. His songs, like Together as One, still inspire optimism and belief in a better world. His lyrics remind us of our shared humanity and the dream of a united South Africa. Lucky's story isn't just about tragedy, it's about the legacy he left behind. He fought for a better world with his music, and that fight continues. The killers took the man, but they could never silence his message. As long as his music plays, Lucky Dube's hope lives on.